For 24 years now, these people have sat still, waited their turn. There are families of 20 to 25 living in two-bedroom flats.
Fed up Parkwood residents are demanding housing. Supersport investigates after rugby analyst Ashwin Willemse walks off the set during a live broadcast. He says he's tired of being patronized.
It's fine. I don't mind it being ridiculous.
This is eNews at 7 p.m. I'm Tony Ndoro. Very good evening. We start off in the Western Cape, where frustrated Parkwood residents in Cape Town are camping on vacant land to highlight their desperate need for homes. Things turned ugly, though, when police arrived and residents claimed that authorities were unnecessarily heavy-handed with them. They are promising further protest action if local government does not address their housing demands. THIS reports.
Tensions are high between police and residents. But these protesters say this is not a land grab. They say they are demanding adequate housing in a peaceful manner, and police took unnecessary action against them.
It was just expressing the frustration of homeless people, landless people, and overcrowdedness in our community. So going there with the land grabbing, it's not through. This morning at about 7:30, myself and the other people, the backyarders, landless people, were camping on the site. Law enforcement agencies came about that time, and they just came to kick our people like dogs.
But police are denying these allegations. Officials say action was taken to stop the violence. Many protesters are pinning the blame on local government.
Maar om die mense te skiet en te trap soos hulle wil, ons is mos die varke nie. Ons eindbad gewees, ons soek behuising. Ons het met ons council gepraat. Ons council en die DA government het ons gefail as colored community.
This is a legitimate protest. This is how the state criminalizes our needs. Right? The needs of the Aboriginal people are met with bullets. It doesn't happen anywhere else. These flats over here that you see over there, that is apartheid spatial planning. These flats were designed for families of 4 to 6. For 24 years now, these people have sat still, waited their turn. There are families of 20 to 25 living in two-bedroom flats. There has been no effort by the DA government to accommodate our needs.
Western Cape Human Settlements MEC, Bongi Nkosi Madikizela, is condemning the violence. He will meet with community leaders on Tuesday to discuss their concerns. THIS, Cape Town.
A prominent rugby analyst's walkout during a live broadcast on Supersport has set tongues wagging. Former Lions and Springbok wing Ashwin Willemse left the pay channel set after an apparent disagreement with fellow presenters Nick Mallet and Naus Botha. Willemse says he felt patronized by them and he stormed off. Supersport says it is investigating the incident, and here's how it unfolded.
See, I think it's important for me because, you know, I've played this game for a long time. Like all of us here, I think, you know. And as a player, I was labeled a quota player for a long time. And I've earned hard and worked hard to earn my own respect in this game. So I'm not going to be patronized by two individuals that have played in an apartheid, a segregated era, and come and want to undermine, you know. And so I think for me, I've had my fair share. I can't work with people that undermine other people, and you know, you can sit and you can laugh about it,
I'm not laughing about it,
but you know exactly what happened. It's fine. It's fine. I don't mind it being ridiculous. I'm glad it happens on air so people can see. Because you two sit here. No, it's fine.
Well, Supersport plans to hold a meeting about the incident tomorrow. A spokesperson for the channel spoke to anchor Tembeki Limkhototo on our sister channel eNCA earlier.
We take the claims very seriously, it goes without saying. However, I cannot speculate or preempt lest it prejudices the findings of the investigation.
But had a complaint about tension between the three men been brought to your attention in the past?
As I said, I cannot speculate, as I explained to your producer.
I'm not asking you to speculate, Mr. van der Berg. I'm asking you if, as a matter of fact, your channel had been notified prior to what we saw last night that these three men were not getting along. I'm not asking you about what you found out after last night. I'm asking you if you were indeed aware that they were not getting on as they should have been.
And I'm telling you, I cannot possibly speculate, lest I compromise the investigation.
So it was never brought to your attention in the past?
As I said, my previous comments remained.
What is your plan to fix this?
We're meeting first thing in the morning, and as I said, an investigation is taking place, and we will take advice from those findings.
The Sports and Recreation Department has weighed in. It is denouncing what it calls white supremacy in sport. Minister Thoko Xasa will meet Supersport management this week to discuss this incident. She's calling on Supersport to suspend the 2 panelists involved while investigations are underway. The minister says the continued appearance of Mallet and Botha will seem as an endorsement of their alleged racist behavior. She says white entitlement in rugby must come to an end.
Minister will get a brief from the management of Supersport to really say what exactly happened there, and obviously to discuss what is their plan around this particular matter. But it's no point in assuming our words. Whenever we see acts of racism, pop up in South Africa, we must condemn it because really racism actually degrades many people who have actually tried to work hard. To make, their own name and to transform this part of the country to reflect the demographics of its people.
Well, on to other news now, and the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal continues to face challenges. 5 ANC regions in the troubled province today petitioned the party's national leadership to postpone the provincial congress scheduled for this month. Disgruntled members have delivered a memorandum to a member of the National Working Committee demanding a solution to end political killings before a provincial congress is held. Some say they are living in fear.
Awazi ukukhuluma ngeconference unendawo ongakwazi ukuzona. Ungakwazi ukungena endaweni ezithile. Okusho ukuthi uzongena nale ibhame ezinkulu zonke izinsuku moya khona. Ngoba uyasaba futhi awasaba ama comrades.
Now, the Ukahlamba region in Ladysmith is one of the unhappy regions. Angry ANC members from the area have gone on a rampage. They are demanding that regional leaders who were elected in December vacate the office. Last week, a high court set aside an earlier order that allowed the regional conference to be held. Some members are disrupting a meeting set up to discuss contention in the region. Here's that moment when a scuffle broke out. Staying with the ANC, but moving to the Free State now, that's where Sam Mashinini has been named as the new chairperson. Delegates didn't vote at the Provincial Elective Congress yesterday, but members were nominated and seconded for positions. William Bulwane was named deputy chairperson and Paseka Nompondo secretary. Some members have accused the conference organizers of not following due process. Coming up after the break, we put a face to the struggle that medical graduates are going through as they wait to be placed in public. Welcome back now. Desperate, unplaced medical graduates say the health department is failing them. The doctors need to be placed in public hospitals for training because it is a requirement for them to complete their qualification. Zikona Chona spoke to some of them.
These young doctors are pleading with the Department of Health to place them in public hospitals, some to do their internships, others to do their community service. Each has their own story. This 28-year-old graduated from Wits University in 2015 and she did her 2-year internship at a Gauteng hospital. As a recipient of a bursary from the Gauteng provincial government, she now has to be placed at a hospital in the province to do her community service.
My hopes and dreams was obviously to serve my community because that's where it all stems from. When you grow up and you see people around you falling sick, you always think, is there something that I can do?
The Soweto-born woman says this year she should be doing exactly that, serving her community, but instead she's sitting at home doing nothing.
I felt disappointed in the system, disappointed in the situation that's happening, saddened basically because I don't know what the solution is.
Now I ask myself every single morning when I wake up why I did this.
Oluwatumisia Debanji is a qualified nurse and medical school graduate. She's a permanent resident of South Africa who's originally from Nigeria. Because she completed her medical degree in South Africa, she has to do both her internship and community service here so that she can get a license to operate independently. She graduated last year, a moment she had dreamed of since she was 9 years old.
It's burdensome on my parents. My brother is in university now. I was supposed to be helping out to pay the fees, but it's still on them. So I think it's just unfair. There are different stories represented out there. There are people whose families are waiting for breadwinners. And the concern now is if they're struggling with our placement now, what happens to our colleagues coming behind us?
The stories are many. And with each day that goes by without these young doctors being placed, South Africa's medical service continues to lose out on their skills. The health department acknowledges a shortage of spaces available for training, but it says it's not aware of any South African graduates who have not been placed. As for foreign nationals, it encourages them to apply for permanent residence status. The department also says it will have to study each student's situation on a case-by-case basis. Zikhona Tshona, Johannesburg.
Well, it can be difficult to find the right taxi when you're a commuter going somewhere new. Now, a new app called Kwela can help you navigate your way through the bewildering taxi network. Mpho Nakana met with the app's developer to find out more.
Minibus taxis are considered the most widely used form of transport for the majority of South Africans. While they offer a convenient and affordable way to travel, just getting your way around can be quite confusing. Skona Khumalo, the developer of the Kwela app, hopes it'll make the journey easier for the millions of commuters.
When you go in, it shows you where you are immediately on the map, and it shows you your 3 closest taxi ranks. This now starts giving you an idea of how far they are, etc. in kilometer proximity. From there, commuters can select the taxi rank that's of interest to them, and they can start seeing an initial itinerary, so opening times, closing times, manager on duty, and all the destinations available.
You'll also get to see how much the taxi fare will cost you and which routes the particular taxi will take. Baba Stole has been working in the taxi industry since 1989. Starting as a driver, he is now a manager at the Bree taxi rank. He says the app will help improve service.
Ama-customer agibele itaxi okanye eya agents Randburg via Smart. So imoto ebezilayisha lapho esikhathini esiningi ngiyaye ngibheke mina la ngaphakathi. Nabe download lapho iyavela baveza ngisho ne-number plate sengiyazi mina ukuthi imuphi lo mshayeli. And umshayeli mangabe enza into engekho kuma customer siyaye simdiscipline thina siyi-Faraday siyamthatha simse lapha ku-DC.
The app is currently in pilot phase, available in the Noord and Bree taxi ranks in Johannesburg. It will only officially launch at the end of June. Mpho Nakana, Johannesburg.
To news from further afield now, the Democratic Republic of Congo will start Ebola vaccinations tomorrow. The country hopes to contain the outbreak of the virus. 4,000 doses of vaccine have been shipped to Mbandaka. Last week, the city registered its first case of Ebola since it was declared an outbreak earlier this month. The World Health Organization is trying to get more vaccines into the country. Here's a recap of your main stories tonight.
For 24 years now, these people have sat still, waited their turn. There are families of 20 to 25 living in 2-bedroom flats.
Fed up Parkwood residents are demanding housing.
Good evening, everyone. It's been a wet weekend for some parts of South Africa, and the system responsible for the wet weather will gradually dissipate overnight. And along with that, showers that linger over the central parts of the country into the early parts of Monday morning will slowly be clearing. In the southwest, a series of weak cold fronts will move through the area, keeping Cape Town and the surrounding regions cloudy and wet during the course of Monday afternoon, while over the central and northern parts, it's going to be a partly cloudy and warmer day over those areas. The Northern Cape saw lots of wet weather over the last 24 hours, but as we head into Monday, it's going to be dry for just about all of the province. But later on in the day, a few drops of light rain could return to Sutherland, where it stays cold. A wet day expected for the peninsula as well as the Cape Winelands, but as you head further north and eastwards, things will be drying up. Beaufort West reaching a high of 21, and it should be mostly sunny. Warmer weather settling into the Eastern Cape, especially warm for the areas close to the coastline, but for Aliwal North, there could be early morning light showers in your area. For KwaZulu-Natal, the sunny and warm weather continue over this province, temperatures rising even higher, allowing Ladysmith and Richards Bay to reach a maximum of 29 degrees. A fantastic afternoon for Mkondo, reaching a high of 27. Ermelo also warms up to 20 degrees Celsius under partly cloudy skies. It will be a clear to partly cloudy day in Limpopo, as well as warmer over this area, and we do not expect any rainfall. And similar weather expected for the northwest, where it's going to be a fairly mild morning over this province, with some areas managing to stay in the double digits overnight. The Free State could see a few early morning isolated showers, especially for the areas closer to Lesotho, but those, as we've seen, will be clearing. Finally, into Gauteng, it's going to be a partly cloudy and dry Monday and somewhat warmer in the area, allowing Johannesburg to reach a high of 22. Looking ahead to Tuesday, and wet weather continues for some areas in the Western and Northern Cape. Elsewhere over the country, it's going to be a dry day, and the wonderful warm weather continues into KwaZulu-Natal for Wednesday, while more rain is expected for Cape Town and the rest of the peninsula.
And finally, what's been making news on the entertainment front this week? Lindy Wesitole has the highlights for us.
One women's organization is petitioning against Chris Brown, Nelly, Eminem and the Red Hot Chili Peppers. They are saying these artists are accused of sexual assault and should be removed from the streaming service Spotify.
Spotify has already removed R. Kelly from its playlist, but the group Ultraviolet insists that more should be done. R. Kelly's team responded saying that the R&B singer has done nothing wrong and that the allegations are unproven.
The Cannes Festival just wrapped up this weekend. Here's one film from there that caught my eye.
Let's make a pact that we will never be like any of them down there. Instead, we're going to be something real. Yes, something real.
Rafiki is a movie by Kenyan film director Wanuri Kayu. She's the first ever Kenyan to showcase at the event. Rafiki, meaning friend, is a romance about two young women who fall in love. The movie has been banned in Kenya. The country's reclassification board says the picture promotes homosexuality, which is unlawful in the East African country. There's currently an ongoing case about decriminalizing homosexuality in Kenya. The film's been well received internationally, getting the nod for several nominations. It's also received a standing ovation at Cannes.
And that's it from me. Till next time.
4 years now, these people have sat still, waited their turn.
Parkwood residents are demanding housing. Supersport investigates after rugby analyst Ashwin Willemse walks off the set during a live broadcast. He says he's tired of being patronized. Well, that's it from me and the crew for tonight. Have a fantastic evening.